Thinking he can overshadow an unknown actress in the part, an actor unknowingly gets a witch cast in an upcoming television remake of the classic sitcom Bewitched, 1964. So I thought it'd be fun to add some fun facts about the original, but maybe I'll do that on it. From a decade old back injury took York out of commission in Bewitched fifth season, and by season 6, Saget had stepped in to play Darren. On Saget's first day on set, however, Moore had expressed her disapproval, shared that in front of the whole cast. Moore had slowly and firmly said, "I don't like the change." The show went on from November 11th to November 24th after Surrogate subbed in for York. But to be fair, Bewitched sixth season also faced strong competition from a suddenly popular Ironside. Okay. Montgomery became a part owner of Bewitched. When the actor tried to quit the sitcom after season 5, ABC offered her so much money she couldn't refuse. Pilato, Pilato, said by the time the show finally ended with season 8, Montgomery owned 20% of the show, and so she earned millions from Bewitch's recitals. The show is connected to multiple Gidget productions. The Stephens house in Bewitched is a mirror image of an actual house in Santa Monica, California, where the 1959 film Gidget was filmed. The facade of the Stephens house was also the same facade that was built on the Columbian lot for the 1963 film Gidget Goes to Rome, and when the Gidget story was adapted for an ABC sitcom starring Sally Field, scenes were filmed in the Bewitched living room. How interesting. There are lyrics to go with the instrumental theme song. Howard Greenfield wrote lyrics for the Jack Keller composition that the show never used. Peggy Lee and Steve Lawrence are some of the popular singers who released versions of the theme song with lyrics. High Schooler wrote a season 7 episode. After a visit to the set of Bewitched in 1969, a 10th grade English class from Thomas Jefferson High School in Los Angeles wrote the story for the season 7 episode Sisters at Heart as a thank you to the cast and crew. Multiple networks have tried to remake and reboot Bewitched. In 2011, CBS ordered a script for a Bewitched remake from writer Mark Lawrence and producer Douglas and Lucy Fisher, the married duo who also produced the 2005 film remake. In 2014, NBC gave a pilot commentary to a follow-up series written by Abby and Mac that will have followed Samantha's granddaughter. And in 2018, Blackish creator Kenra Barris sold a Bewitched take, which he penned with YAMARA tailored to ABC. WandaVision paid homage to the show. Not only was WandaVision's second episode titled Sequence a spin on Bewitch's animated introduction, but the character of Agatha lives in the Bewitched house of Angus, which is fitting because, spoiler alert, she's a witch. Okay, yeah, it's Agatha. Did you all know there was a TV spinoff with the daughter? Which I did not know. There's only a few episodes you can find online, and there's a reason that it didn't get picked up. It looked good, but like whatever happened made it hard. 10 things fans didn't know about the TV show Bewitched. Bewitched captivated viewers from 1964 to 1972. The ABC. Alexa, stop, please. The ABC sitcom was a leader in the then new supernatural scene and has maintained a devoted fandom ever since. The show opens on a Lynn note as Samantha Stevens still needs to tell her new husband about her powers. Throughout the series, she is constantly juggling her husband's wishes for normalcy with her own need to use magic. When it comes to supernatural sitcoms, creator Soul called Bewitched the first of its kind. So leading to I Dream a Genie and other magical shows, Bewitched generally kept its story light enough for the sitcom realm. What can fans learn about this spellbinding sitcom? Welcome back. Spellbinding sitcom. Creator Solo SAKS was inspired by stories of witches. Even though Bewitched was revolutionary as a supernatural sitcom, it still had seeds of inspiration. The creator of the sitcom and writers of the pilot episode was Solo, an experienced radio and television writer who worked on Ozzie and Harriet, My Favorite Husband, I Married Jonah, and many others. Solo was inspired by two films with witch protagonists, I Married a Witch and Bell, Book, and Candle. It is interesting that the man who brought a whimsical television witch to life took the idea from Moore's series Cinematic Witches. Star Elizabeth Montgomery was married to director Bill Asher. It's significant that the star of Bewitched was married to her director and producer Bill Asher. Had already worked as a television director for many years on sitcoms like I Love Lucy and The Danny Thomas Show. Okay, I know I Love Lucy, I don't know the other one. Bewitched was an opportunity for him to work with Elizabeth Montgomery. However, tensions on the set were mounting as Asher and Montgomery went through marital troubles. The couple divorced shortly after Bewitched ended in its run. Samantha's nose twitch was inspired by Elizabeth Montgomery. Okay, legend has it that Samantha Stevens had a natural inclination for the famous nose twitch. The magical twitch was inspired by Elizabeth Montgomery, who actually moved her lips back and forth to make it look like she was wiggling her nose. Montgomery's then husband, Bill Asher, noted that the actress would do the nose twitch when frustrated in real life. I'm not really sure how you do it. Okay, Asher said in 1964 the audience is waiting for that twitch, but we never threw it in merely because it looks cute. We save it until Samantha is so sorely tempted to use her witchy read that she can't resist, and that's the point where the audience is usually saying, do something. The special effects team had to get very creative. Yeah, I wonder what they did for that, because I'm used to like CGI and stuff now. With a magical series, special effects are paramount. Bewitched had it even harder in the 1960s with limited technology, led by Dick. Wow, a lot of people are named Dick in the show. This album, the special effects team got to work and came up with innovative tricks to make all of Samantha's magic look real. A common example is Samantha's vacuum cleaner, which runs by itself. The vacuum on the show had a reversible motor on the bottom instead of brushes, and technicians controlled it using switches off stage. Similarly, when Samantha temporarily plans to leave her husband, her suitcase magically flies out of her closet with the help of a special effects artist walking on planks above the set, manipulating wires attached to the luggage like puppet strings. The effects were hard work for Montgomery, too. In addition to having wires running up her sleeve to make it look like she turned on a light bulb by herself, Elizabeth Montgomery had more strenuous work with the special effects. In the classic messy to clean kitchen scene, she would have to make it look like Samantha was cleaning without lifting a finger. Montgomery had to hold her arm up so long that they ached in order for the crew to swoop in and manually clean the kitchen for the scene. Thankfully, the star was given a setup that included crutches so she could rest her arm a bit. Dick York left the show due to health issues. The first Darren Stevens was played by Dick York, who was replaced by Dick S. in 1996. Nope, not 96, it's 69. Jeez, I flip them again. I hate when I do that. Sometimes I can catch myself and other times I can't. York had no choice but to step away from the role after a previous injury was bad. The actor took large amounts of painkillers and could not continue his work due to health issues. While any fan of the show knows that Darren is played by two different actors, not all fans know about Dick York's struggle. The Bewitched theme song has secret lyrics. Many Bewitched fans have no clue the iconic theme song has a vocal version. Steve Lawrence sings the theme in a swinging style, slowing down the zippy tune that fans are used to hearing on the series. The words, of course, keep the magic of television intro. Bewitched, bewitched, you've got me in your spell. Bewitched, bewitched, you know your craft so well. Bewitched is a time capsule of over a decade of fashion. That is true. They had some different fashions in each season, and it was really interesting. Fashion lovers will definitely notice all the progressiveness in Samantha Stevens' wardrobe throughout the 8 seasons of Bewitched. The character begins in the early 1960s, but still wears fashionable fashions popular in the 1950s, like skirts and sweater sets and shirt-waist dresses. Sam also isn't afraid to don jeans, button-down shirts, and Kents for housework. More bold patterns